Welcome back to Dork Points, everybody. This is Ron.
And I'm Charlie.
And today we are doing a Halloween special, which is basically multiple of the worst slash, well, some of them weren't very cheap, but most of them were very, very cheap.
It's not a cheap list, it's a worst list. It's
Worst.
the worst Halloween games we have ever purchased ourselves. Not the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
Starting with the best of the worst.
Sagebrush. And so this one is a pixelated psychological horror game. Unlike most of horror games where it actually just it's kind of
Realistic?
Yeah, because it actually touches on a lot of realistic topics.
Yeah, there's no jump scares. This is all psychological.
It just makes you scared and make you think that there's gonna be jump scares, but there's not. Anyway, so we finally got into this cabin. We made a whole other video about it too. But in general, the game is actually really good. Except one thing is there's no hints about where anything is. So.
Oh yeah. You just find everything yourself and hope for the best. So the church, it's a cult, and the preacher decided to burn the place down.
And then it's just a really bad cult, and it's also based off of this character going through a bunch of PTSD and trauma about the whole thing. It's just touching on a lot of sensitive topics.
So what you're watching is her story.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. All right, moving on to
Jerry. Yes, I love Jerry.
Okay, she's up and dancing. This is called Dissection. I hate this game. Every Halloween, Charlie makes me play it. And
every time I come over.
I just hate it. It's super cheap, but it's also terrifying.
I love Jerry.
But the weird thing is, so you're in this house. It's just one house, and you have to find the keys and open the doors. And this thing
Jerry,
that you see through the cracks of the... Did we see him again there? There he is! Oh my god!
I named him Jerry, because he's...
Yeah, his name's Jerry. I thought we were calling him Jeremy for a while there, but... Jerry. And so the whole thing is you have to get these keys and open these doors and go all the way to... find your way out, to escape. All the way through the house, to do all these... terrible chores, and then no matter what happens, his pattern is totally random, and he finds you and kills you, and I hate it, and I never want to play it again. Yes. All right, moving on to horror adventure. Kind of the same, a little better.
Except the glitching is so much worse.
Oh yeah, you're gonna see it in a minute. Right now, you're watching the end of the game. And this is supposed to be terrifying. And what's weird is we played the demo.
The demo was scarier than this.
The demo was scary in this, and we didn't see any of that footage in this game.
Yeah.
The demo was its own thing. It's weird. But yeah, look at this. Looking really cool. When you have your headphones... Well, not cool and horribly cheap. Yeah, look at how everything goes through. It is a cheap and terrible game, but the audio and the things they are doing do work and do... scare you sometimes and startle you. So it's a fun, cheap playthrough like Goat Simulator or something.
Yeah. And then here's the time we completely glitched out where up if you go into the stairs, there's this hole in reality. And then my dad was like, oh, what happens if we go in here? And then you're just falling forever.
Speaking of being so broken, it's funny. This game does that. Oh, yes. And this will happen again in this list, won't it?
Yes. Next off with Panic House.
Yeah, moving on to... that's what I always go with. Look at this garbage. Yeah, Panic House. There's 4 zombies in the house. They all stick to their
this part.
One location. Look at that. I shot him in the head. He literally turns...
10 times.
He does a circle and then just
ignores him.
Yes.
Just ignored. And you're just I feel hurt.
We made this was in another cheap games binge, one of the other cheap games binge videos.
But this game is totally broken, and there's only 4 zombies in the entire game. This is the one, and then the other 3 are literally in the basement, which is a closed off space.
In one spot.
All in one spot.
So the only zombie you have to worry about is this guy, because he's a patroller.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah. Okay. Moving on
Opus
to
Castle.
Opus Castle. Just,
I didn't play it.
You know,
but it doesn't
looks
look
better than some of these other games, but it's boring, it's trash, it's French. Is that a negative? I don't think so. But, it's just, I don't know, it's just not interesting. Charlie watched me play it for about an hour, and I
was
make
not watching.
no headway. It was totally boring. However, I have played this before. I've played the demo of the first part, and I got to the end, and the end was so hokey and so silly that I was just kind of embarrassed for these game makers, because if you look at it, it's really quite pretty to look at
Yeah,
for
I
the
can see
most
that.
part, but it's just boring, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't
And
look that exciting. And also, I will admit the graphics look like gorgeous. Like I feel like if they actually added on like good gameplay to the good graphics, then this would be like an amazing game, and we wouldn't even have to have this on our list. But the gameplay just doesn't make sense. I was too bored to even watch this.
Yeah, you need a story too to suck you in at some point. You
There's
can't just be in
no
rooms
story.
over and over again, because then it becomes like horror adventure, and that's what it is. It's just like a better looking horror adventure, really.
Yeah,
Um,
that's it.
yeah, Opus Castle. There's a part 2 out now. It's like 5 years later. All right, moving on to
Spectre Woods, our favorite game ever.
Mm,
By
this
the
is-
Voices game.
And yeah, if you saw
Yeah.
our previous Halloween video, which we just posted, here we go again. It's got to be on the list. It's one of the worst horror games of all time. Look at the ghosts.
The ghosts are
At
amazing.
the ghosts.
Everything's amazing.
And then what happens after this, Charlie? Every time.
The border.
Yeah.
The border happens.
So I killed the 2 ghosts. We have played this game 4 times now. I killed the ghosts. I walk forward.
Nothing.
I hit a border. All right.
The
Oh.
Unknown City. Best game ever.
Yep, special treat. Now, let's talk about the opening of this game.
Boring.
If you don't hit skip, you are in for almost 10 to 15 minutes of, what do you call it? AI
Nothing.
voice generated, when you just type in stuff in the computer.
Yep,
and
yep, AI
it's the
voicing
fake,
over.
It's the fake voices. So the characters have those fake, whatever you call them, AI voices. And then Charlie discovered this.
That if you go up to this lady and like get close enough to her, you'll get yeeted. And one of the times I went up to her, I literally got flown into the air like 10, 20 feet away.
Yeah,
from
the
her.
example you're seeing there, where she got thrown back like 6 feet, that's nothing compared to
And
what
I was
we
in
did.
the air.
So this is the game. They've actually updated it. It looks a little better, but it's just total garbage. Total garbage.
I don't get it.
I mean, I guess they all are. All right, what's it called? Daylight Dread.
And in my playthrough, which is insane, we found 0 zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Not even one. Although I was,
Nothing.
yeah.
Her whole run. And then what happened?
And then we kind of sort of did what we did with Horror Adventure, and we found the edge of the world.
We walked off the map. It's totally insane. So everybody, at the end of this video, after we're done talking, you're going to see the full playthrough of Charlie's game. Literally no zombie spawn, and then she falls off the map. It's insane, just like... Okay, so anyways, the zombies do come on our second playthrough, but guess what? They don't kill you.
You don't die.
Yeah, you don't die at all. You can just stand there. And this game is 1 level. Again, I bought this for 99 cents, so I knew what I was getting, but unfortunately Charlie did not. I'm sorry.
You hurt me.
Oh, no. Okay. Please move on. Oh, this is when Charlie started shooting back.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know. I still
This
feel
is
bad.
me speed running this game.
Oh, God, we missed the title card on this one. Okay,
Whatever.
Okay, it's called Flagathon. It's terrible. It's random spin.
I was able to run through
Yes,
it.
and we've talked about this game a million times. Yes, you can run through the entire first level without getting hurt, without shooting a zombie. You can just run to the end. It's just and the look of it, like, the zombies have no faces. They're just, like, look like meat puppets or something. It's gross and cheap. It's like they found a perfect thing, a bad thing. Okay.
The Last Dead End, and I annoyed my father with this so much. It was hilarious because I kept going back onto his least favorite levels.
Now, again, all these videos, we have talked about these in cheap game binges, but this is our Halloween special, so we have to talk about the most frightening games, and this one, just this level, is like a nightmare. It's like if you woke up in hell, it would just be this.
That's
just
because
wet
you're
floor
not
signs
that bright.
wandering around. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
You can't read
Now,
signs apparently by
the
doors.
character modeling is so terrible.
And plus there's this one level where you're literally just, it's not even a level, you're just watching them talk.
Yeah.
And then there are levels like this where you get to fight, but then the last level that you saw was just them talking. It was just, the entire level was just one big cutscene, and that's it. And then you move on to the next level.
There are parts of this game that do look good and are quality and remind me of old school House of the Dead. But again, this game came out in 2019. I think House of the Dead came out in 1999. Oh, okay.
The
All right.
Innsmouth case.
Final game of the night, and this game is not trash. It's not garbage. It's not poorly made. What is it, Charlie?
Nothing.
I was going to say boring. This game is totally boring. It's I understand what you're doing here, people. You're doing a choose your own adventure game where, you know, everything that you choose has an effect and an outcome.
It's not that entertaining.
It's
not to us.
I mean, just
Not to us people with we have
not-
zero patience.
Not to, you know, and then you turn on your PS4 and you're like, I'm going to play a game. I've heard it's Lovecraftian, it's a Cthulhu game, whatever. And then you're just reading and making choices, and there's little animations, but there's no world here. Alright.
So that was our Halloween special,
Wow.
worst games ever. And then at the end, you're going to see my whole playthrough. And have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, so what do you think?
Well, it was all something, I will admit. But honestly, we can both agree that the worst one is either Daylight Dead or Panic House.
Yeah, those are just broken. Sagebrush is actually good, check it out,
Yeah.
but it's cheap.
Yeah.